Hello and welcome to Reader's Retreat. I'm Paul, and this is what I've read so far. I'm going to start out with a couple that probably people on YouTube won't be reading unless they're ordained. Well, one of them ain't unless they're ordained, but the other one is a good book. And but this is going to be my monthly wrap up and the weekly reads all in one. So I hope you enjoy it and let me know. Have you read anything that I've read? Are you going to be reading anything I'm going to be reading, or did you already read stuff I am reading? That is all. That is awesome. And don't forget to go to my community page. There's a poll up for the next book that I'm going to be reading, and we will see how that goes. But the first book I'm going to show you is this one. Everybody sees little books like this when uh, ministers walks into weddings, funerals, or whatever. This one here is the Minister Service Manual, and it is a it's good. I mean, I enjoyed it, uh, but it goes through the weddings, it goes through the funerals, it goes through a lot of things. Now, I do have another book just like this one, but it's for the funeral only. Uh, I will be getting the wedding one only because it talks more about the funeral services and the wedding services. So this is a a good great read. I enjoyed this. Now another one you probably could pick up. I mean, I picked this up at Barnes and Noble, and by Catherine Summers, forward by John Eckert, and this is the dynamics of prophetic worship. This is talking about worship, uh, in you know, and music. Uh, I enjoyed this one. Matter of fact, I read this one twice already, and it's not very long. It's just a nice short book, and I did read this twice already this month, and so there's that one. Then let's get back into some other stuff. This is a graphic novel I read. This is by Paul Livitz, Sonny Lee Loveridge, and this is Dr. Fate. I really don't like the art in this one. Uh, so it probably got a 3. I mean, the story was okay, but the story was okay, but the art was bad. And when you do a graphic novel, I believe you need to go by both art and story. Now, this one right here, I read. This was by a friend of mine. She sent it to me, and so I will be doing a review on this soon. Give me a minute. And I will be doing a review on this soon. I already put a review on Goodreads. This is from the Paranormal Case Files of Bishop Kincaid, The Rembrandt Stratagem by Kelly Austin. So, yeah, there. And it's it is a pulp, but it's more like a steampunk pulp. So I really enjoyed this. Can't wait for the second book. And then the last book I read in March is The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. This was a good read. It didn't score as high as the other two I read by Riley Sager, but that's okay. It still was a good read, and so that's what I did. That right there is my monthly wrap up for March, and now it's time for the weekly reads. The weekly reads. My number one book is going to be The Eighth Circle by Sarah Kane. This is a thriller. It's like a mystery thriller that has to do with politics and journalists and stuff like that. And this one here, it goes, a year ago, Danny Ryan lost his wife and son. Sorry. A year ago, Danny Ryan lost his wife and son in a car accident. He's still reeling from the tragedy when Michael Cohen, his friend and fellow journalist, drives into the pond in front of the house with a bullet through his gut. With Michael's death ruled a murder, Danny must work to get his name crossed off the list of suspects, and that means digging into Michael's last article and expose of the twisted side of Philadelphia politics. But powerful people are ready to kill to protect what Michael was about to uncover, and if Danny's not careful, he'll be next. The Eighth Circle. So I really can't wait for this one. Now, if I want to switch, like during the daytime, if I want to switch from this book to another book, I am going to be picking up The Stand by Stephen King. And so far, I'm on chapter 5, and I'm enjoying it. I haven't read it for a while, and I started it a while back, quite a few months back, but I am enjoying this. In the nighttime, if I'm in bed and I need to read or want to read, I can, and that would be Stephen King's The Drawing of the Three, which is book 2 of the Dark Tower series. And so this is what I'm reading during the bedtime. Like if I can't sleep or something, I'll just set up in bed and read some of this. So I do read 3 books. I am reading 3 books. I prefer reading just the two, the main one and the bedtime one, or the bed stand one. And let's see. But now for when I get done with this, there's a poll up already on my community page with 5 more books, and you get to choose uh, which book I will be reading next. So right now, what's on there is Breathless by Dean Koontz, Ted Dekker wrote 3, Catwoman by Sarah J. Maas, Immigration, the Migration by Helen Marshall, and Dead Man Dead Man's Hand by James J. Butcher. And no, he is not trying to involve himself into Jim's, because James J. Butcher is Jim Butcher's son, and this book is his first book, Dead Man's Hand, and it is actually your his first book, and it sounds awesome. And so go over on my community page and and vote. I'll be putting those up. I'll be putting 5 up uh, once once I get done with this one, and I pick the one that wins on the poll this time. And when I start that one, I will put up 5 more. So hopefully that will help people, uh, and it helped me. So I hope will enjoy it. Uh, help me pick a book to read, and what you're doing, you're picking my main book. You're picking the book I'm going to mainly read, and we'll see how that goes. So until later, God bless, and keep reading. It's always good for the mind.